Hey, it's your pal Fernbark, and today we're going to take a look at this 400 watt ground fogger unit made by Veritech. Operation is pretty simple. You're just going to dump some ice inside of this ice box. You can use just ice out of your freezer, or for better results you can use dry ice. We're just going to use regular ice out of the freezer today. And your fog fluid goes into here, which you can buy from a party store. I just made my own. It's really simple to do and it's much less expensive. The fogging fluid is distilled water and vegetable glycerin, and I'm using, just to make it simple, a 25% solution, so it's 3 parts water to 1 part vegetable glycerin. Here's the back end of the unit. You got your power in, a fuse, your on-off switch, and this little guy right here is where you can hook up a timer, which is what you're going to want to do if you want to run this all night, because I'll explain that a little bit more in a minute. It also has a drain hose, so that ice that you put in the ice box has some place to run out to. The unit does come with a bag, and that bag you can just put your drain hose right up to here if you don't want water collecting on the ground where you're at. That's pretty nice. You got a sight gauge on the back here. It's a little, might be difficult to see in the camera, but I got fluid right up to this point. You're not supposed to let it go below that point. So this is really, I had it down to right about here, and that's 1 cup of fluid and that space there. So it's probably going to hold like 2 cups of fluid. Once you turn the unit on, it does take a couple minutes for it to heat up. Once it heats up, this red light will come on, and then you can press and hold this button to activate the unit. If you're thinking that would be a real pain in the neck to bend over and do that the whole time, it does come with remote control, and you can activate it this way as well. Let's go ahead and wrap up this review. I used this guy for about an hour, and when you say use it for an hour, it's really like it shoots fog for 10 seconds and then it heats up for 90 seconds. So it's not really like a lot of steady use. Having said that, the fog does linger for quite a while, but it is highly dependent on the wind conditions. So if it's windy, the wind is just going to sweep it right out of there. If it's relatively still, the fog will hang in the air. So when I used it in the garage, the fog hung and I had to get a fan and blow it out of the garage because it just wouldn't dissipate. But outside, it would dissipate quite quickly if the wind picked up a little bit. So your mileage is going to vary heavily on depending on your wind conditions. I put a cup of fogging fluid in here, and using it fairly steadily for the full hour, it probably used about 1/3 of that cup. So fairly efficient. If you fill this up, you're probably going to get a couple 3 hours of fog out of it, depending on how frequently you press that button. I will say, if your intention is to just like run this as an outdoor display for Halloween and have a continuous billow of fog, you're going to want to get that timer, because it's a real pain in the ass watching the red light on the top here to light up so you can hit the button again. So that would be $15 easily well spent should you get this and not want to just monitor this continually. Anyhow, it's a pretty fun unit, and I hope you enjoyed the review.